So I am here with my soul sister, Desiree. We haven't met, but I feel so connected to your journey and path of motherhood, wild pregnancy, conscious conception, and free birth. And so we're going to have a conversation and, yeah, dive right into what supported you in preparing for free birthing, for wild pregnancy, why you chose this path. And as you can see, she's with her beautiful baby, the fruit of love and this trust. So I'm super, yeah, curious to hear from you. Super excited to speak on the topics of wild pregnancy and free birthing. So, yeah.
Blessed to be here, sister, and thank you so much for having me. And yeah, looking forward to just seeing what wants to come through during this conversation. So let's just flow. Um, I feel like I want to just start by saying that I am 3 months into postpartum. Um, he was born on the new moon in January, so the Aquarius new moon. And we just had a new moon in Taurus a couple days ago, so we always count like his month. Like, okay, he's 3 months now because of the new moon, and he was conceived almost a year ago,
Oh, so
like about a year ago, somewhere between the 4th and the 9th of May.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow, it's crazy because it's Beltane right now. It's like the peak fertility.
yeah, yeah. And my birthday um, is on the 4th. So I had been feeling his spirit for a few months. And we actually called him in on my birthday last year. So he was either conceived on my birthday or on May 9th, somewhere around then. That was my ovulation window. And it was actually the first act, like it was the first time that we had really called the spirit forth was during that lovemaking on my birthday.
Wow.
And so I guess you could say it was the first time we really tried.
Mhm.
And it was the first and it happened on the first try.
Wow.
So consciously conceived, and yet I was still like, wait, I didn't think it was gonna
Fertility
happen that
bias.
fast. Like, okay, here we go, spirit. And I like literally when I think about it, I think about like his spirit being like, oh, like finally you're calling me and finally and like coming down like so quick into my womb.
May I ask what that looked like? Where was it like you being like, I'm ready? Like, yes.
Like, okay, so we had just went to Mexico, Todos Santos with our best friends, some of our best friends, and my sister Olivia was pregnant in Mexico.
Wow.
And she was just like radiating, like she was just this like tan pregnant goddess like on the beach in Mexico. And Todos Santos just has like such deep mermaid energy.
Oh, you were speaking
Like,
my language.
yeah, like it just like the shells and all
Oh,
the jewelry there. And they actually say like like there's a whole myth of like the mermaids hung out there, and it's like they'll steal your jewelry like if you go into the ocean with your jewelry, like they're there, and like you're gonna like lose your jewelry. But I just felt such deep mermaid energy. And I was also coming up around the last year was 1 year post my Bobensana diet
mm,
and our engagement. And so it was just like this whole like I just was feeling this energy, and being with Olivia, I just she was this just like perfect reflection of like I'm like I think we're ready to be like her and Adam were like I think we're ready to be parents. Like just being with them for a week, and I was just my body wanted to be pregnant. Like I could just feel my body wanting to be pregnant, or I hadn't really felt that as strong as I did in those moments in Mexico.
Hmm.
And so I had my last bleed in Mexico. I think it was like the full moon last year, like April 20th. I literally got my last bleed at the airport in San Francisco.
Wow.
And it was so fucking intense on the plane ride. Holy moly. And I just like remember landing in Mexico and yeah, being just so thankful anyway to be there. Um, After that intense. So
Yeah,
we,
you were like clearing literally the last remnants of like this maidenhood and letting it was in Mexico that your moon stopped, right?
yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
like
last,
Mexico has
yeah, the last bleed I've had was there.
yeah, I know we're both like plant Dieta sisters in the Shi people lineage. And when you talked about Bob Sana, I was really feeling her and wanted to kind of speak to this, yeah, your Dieta with Bob Sana and this sacred master plant. And I'm curious to know if that Dieta was connected at all to your preparation for this conscious conception, even if you didn't know that that was going to be that way.
Yeah, I just got chills. So, like, as a whole, and like, as I've been in this motherhood journey and through pregnancy, I've been like, okay, wow, like, my relationship and all of the, like, just my relationship with ayahuasca has totally, like, I didn't know it then, but it had been guiding me to right now and into this motherhood journey.
Is like,
And I remember when I showed up to my Bobinsana Dieta, and I was, talking with my teachers and like about intentions, and I had mentioned, like when I was talking to them about wanting to prepare to be a mother, and they they didn't really say anything about that. Like they didn't really reflect anything really back to me about that. They knew that I had a lot of work. I had a lot of shit I needed to clear. And not only me, but Anthony too. Like we had to clear a lot from our field. Like,
as the men are so important, it's like, yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
other half of the DNA, the
yeah,
lineage.
exactly. Like, and like where our relationship was at that time, like, yeah, we totally could have brought a child in, but like it wasn't where it is now, or it wasn't where it
Mhm.
was, or it wasn't where it was like last year. Like at that time, yeah, we needed a lot of work, and our teachers could see it.
Mhm.
They were kind of like, okay, like, sure, you think that's what your intention is, but that's, you'll get that in a way, but we're going to cut to some deeper
So
shit.
when was that? Was that like,
That was 2023.
okay, so then a year after that.
Or was that 2022?
Mhm.
2023. Yeah, it was 2023. Yeah. So 2 years ago.
Okay, so you like kind of prepared from that moment a whole entire year after you kind of declared, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. And, that diet, now that I reflect that, I didn't realize it then, as the integration always like shows us later, but it was like so much of my wounded maiden being healed in that diet to be able to come fully into mother archetype, into this mother.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the shadow that we have to go through when we're dieting with a plant. And a lot about Bobinsana is like the beauty, and she is a dreamer and will bring you love and songs. And it's like, yeah, the cut through the bullshit. It's actually like you need to, yeah, she's gonna like take out what is not needed and kind of reweave and retune your whole body. And with Aya, that happened. So that's super beautiful that, we're sharing this side and just being raw and honest.
Yeah, yeah. And that wasn't even the only diet or only plant I dieted that in that
Oh yeah,
month.
Rose, right?
No, Rose came later, so that was
Okay.
also. But like, I was dieting a whole cocktail of Marosa. It
Mm.
was Pino Colorado first, and then they introduced Marosa, and then 2 weeks in was Bobensana.
What was the energy of Marosa? I,
Self love. It was self love.
yeah.
Just like, yeah, self love. And so yeah, and then and then was that last year? Yeah, last year. And last year, January 29th was when I opened up my rose diet, which is so funny because I don't even remember my intention being like fertility or having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the plant brought that intention forth.
Mm-hmm.
And even my teacher and dear friend who opened up that diet, he had reflected that. Like I didn't even realize it. And then he had like I did and I didn't, but he had like reflected it back to me recently, like, oh yeah, that was your intention for your diet, which I don't even remember telling him.
Wow.
And then when I sat in ceremony while I was pregnant, I had opened up to my journal before that ceremony that I had written in during my rose diet. And I guess I had written down like these intentions of like, I want to be like, I think during that diet, I was trying to figure out like what Rose was showing me was this notion of, okay, can I be a mother, but can I also have my own business? Can I also
Mm-hmm.
sustain the business that I have currently? Can I still do all these things? And I wrote down like, I am a mother and I'm still, doing this, and this. Um, and yeah, and then that diet just deepened my fertility. It deepened my relationship with the blood mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened that January 29th, 2024. And he was born January 29th, 2025.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
He
you can't make,
knew. He was like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in it for the ride. Wow, that's incredible.
yeah. Like these plants, like
Oh,
you can't make these things up.
yeah,
These
you can't.
plants are wild.
Oh, yeah, I just want to share for those watching and you don't know what a plant dieta is. It's essentially, well, we're speaking about it from the Shipibo lineage, the indigenous people who live in the Peruvian Amazon, and they work with plants in a really sacred way. And the dieta is really stripping all noise, internet, your phone, and sometimes this involves even going to the jungle and sitting in a tambo and being in isolation. And you're really fasting and eating really specific diet, no salt, no sexual energy, and offering yourself in devotion to this plant spirit, which is working through you and cleaning you and showing you and what you need to see and teaching you. And it's like an offering of your body to be a channel for this spirit, which you're working with in relationship. And these plants become our allies for life. And this diet is with us like for our life. And yeah, everything keeps revealing itself many, many days, years, lifetimes, all the codes. So, I love this. I would really love to go into, yeah, like the free birthing wild pregnancy part. If,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let's go. So I found out I was pregnant, almost about a year ago, conceived about a year ago, like I said. And I had already knew, like spirit had already guided me, like if you have a child, this is the route you're going to take
Mhm.
of wild pregnancy. And for those of you that may be watching, listening, that are like, wait, what's wild pregnancy? It's basically going throughout your entire pregnancy without going to a doctor or getting any type of test done. So I had zero ultrasounds, zero blood tests. I didn't see a doctor or a midwife throughout my entire journey of pregnancy.
Wow. Not even a midwife. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, like, there's one sister in my community that is a midwife assistant. And so, like, if I had, maybe a couple questions for her and, she answered them. But that was like pretty much the extent of it. And then free birth at my actual birth, it was just me, my partner, and my dear sister. who
Mm-hmm.
isn't a doula or a birth worker. Well, now she's studying to be a birth worker after that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, I was guided to birth in this way. I had found Free Birth Society. I had done one of their 3-month courses, the Blood Mysteries, and both of my teachers had free birthed all of their babies. Um, so I had a lot of good women around me that were um yeah, like that I was seeking counsel from.
Mm-hmm.
um Another sister where I live, she's also she free birthed 2 of her babies. And but going back to the wild pregnancy, like yeah, I just didn't feel called to go to a doctor. I didn't, because for me, I don't go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the last time I went was a couple years ago, because I had poison oak and I was like desperate. But I don't regularly go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just didn't feel like I'm my doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my medicine woman. Like I'm a medicine woman. I don't need that establishment for much. And so that was just the most natural and organic way to go. Especially as a woman that takes care of herself, that's been preparing her body, and that knows her body and trusts her body. Do I think every woman should do that? No.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I knew that was my path.
Yes.
And, a lot of women, even like my first pregnancy, it's crazy, but I still felt called. I was like, I trust so much. And I really feel like the plants played a huge role in that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had also like uncovered this fear I had around being pregnant and giving birth because of birthing in the hospital. So this is what happened was like I had I'm trying to like figure out the right words to kind of articulate this, but throughout my life, I never really saw myself pregnant. Or like I never really was sure if I wanted kids or not. Like I think deep down I did, but there was this blockage there of having that vision. And what I had recently uncovered was that the blockage there was actually because I was scared to give birth in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a young girl, even when I was like 20 and my aunt had like 2 kids, and we went to the hospital when I was like, maybe I was actually like 18, and I went to the hospital. I remember like just always thinking like it's weird that we're giving birth in hospitals. Like
Yeah.
that's weird to me. Sometimes it it has to happen, and like it is what it is, and there's no judgment around anyone's birth story or anyone's birth plan. We're all just doing the best we can and meeting ourselves where we're at. But for me, I was like, this just feels weird. Like hospitals are filled with unwell people.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we be like birthing life into this place? And I had uncovered that recently, and I was like, okay, that was what the blockage was.
Mm. Yeah, it's like what we've been told. And that's pretty much it. It's just like what we've been told and like what our possibly our mothers were. It's
Exactly.
just like this, lack of information or hidden wisdom of like ancient midwifery and
Yeah,
natural births, which is what our ancestors were doing in the past.
exactly. Yeah, and I was a C-section baby, and my mom was like, "Yeah, give me all the whatever, like give me the
Mhm.
C-section. I don't want to go through that
Go through
experience,
the pain because of, yeah,
go
fear.
through the initiation." Yeah, and so that is once I found that there was this other alternative, I was like, oh wow, like I'm super down. And I knew I could also have a midwife. That was an option, but I didn't feel called. Like I did
Okay.
not get that call.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even waiting for it. I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like, okay, it was a couple months into my pregnancy, and that's things start to come up, fears start to move through, of course, the unknown. And I was like, okay, God, if like I am meant to have a midwife or I'm meant to have deeper support at my birth,
Mhm.
give like please bring it to me. And I live in a town, I live in Grass Valley, Nevada City. Like there's epic birth workers,
Yes.
midwives here. There are. And it never came. And so I trusted that fully.
Love that. Yeah, and I'm sure your partner was so supportive. I'd love to hear about the role of the masculine in this free birthing journey because, we could do it alone, but yeah, feeling the masculine is so important in this time for mama and baby and the new earth and sacred union. And yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Anthony was literally, he's like, yeah, I mean, of course he's like, yeah, like what? Of course that's what we're doing.
Oh.
Like no questions at all, really. He's like, yeah, duh. Of course, if I wanted support or, if I wanted a midwife or a doula there, he would have been open to that, of course, whatever I wanted.
Mhm.
But really, he was like, there's no other way. I
Yeah.
think that's what he said. He's like, that's the only way. And even every time I would waver and I'd be like,
Hmm.
he'd be like, he'd really like sit down with me and, be curious and ask me the right questions and ultimately like getting me to a grounded place of like,
Mm,
babe, like you're
I love
good. We're good.
that. Yeah.
Like we're blessed, we're protected. This is the path. Like just trust.
Yes, this is the masculine, the grounding presence for the feminine chaos to just figure out what we want to do. But we need that presence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, I was just throughout my pregnancy eating super well,
Mm.
working with the plants, working with the herbs, learning from my teachers.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time in nature, it seemed.
Yeah. 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 In the water and nature, everything. Just really
Or
preparing
natural.
myself.
What were some of the herbs that you were working, like supporting you in this process when you were pregnant?
Yeah. So, first trimester, I really focused on nutritive herbs.
Hmm.
Um, nettle.
Hmm.
Nettle is such a great one during pregnancy because it has every vitamin and mineral that you need. And it's just great for blood building and strengthening your body, baby's body.
Hmm.
Also, preventing postpartum hemorrhage.
That's
Um,
You can drink it the whole time that you're pregnant.
yeah, literally the whole time. Red raspberry leaf.
Hmm.
A lot of people say like, oh, like it can cause contractions.
Mm,
It's a uterine tonic. It's a uterine strengthener. But I worked with it throughout my pregnancy. It's a very light herb, and actually, it's really funny because I was nearing the end of my pregnancy, and was I basically had like one more serving of raspberry leaf.
hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, I got to go into town and get more raspberry because I was drinking it every single day in my third trimester. Not because of any particular reason, like everyone's always like, drink red raspberry, but really just because I felt like that plant was just really calling to me throughout that time. And I love the taste and whatever. Anyway, um, I had one more serving of it and I had made an infusion with it the night before giving birth. So it was like
My
as soon
God.
as the red raspberry leaf was done, like there was no more in the huge jar. It
Hmm.
was like the birth portal was open.
Oh, I
So
love
it's like
that.
she was totally in the field guiding me.
Yeah, I know that red raspberry has some affinity with the transition from maiden and to mother. I have to look into it, but I remember working with her and it was really bringing this energy of like maiden to mother and
Mm.
even can be connected to crone, I'm sure, but really I feel like she's there for that, yeah, transition and initiation.
Oh wow, I love that. That makes total sense. And I haven't bought any more since the birth, but I actually did make myself a cup at my friend's house like a couple days ago. And I was like, wow, I've missed this taste. I missed this spirit. But
Mm.
yeah, other herbs, comfrey is a great one, linden flower, rose.
Hmm.
These are all great herbs. Lemon balm, peppermint, milk thistle to support the liver during pregnancy, dandelion root.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, these were all my like main go-tos during pregnancy, I would say.
And how was like did you have any nausea? Any like yeah, things moving through when you were pregnant?
Yeah, I had a really intense, deep first trimester, like total, total, just like felt like deep ceremony vibes.
Hmm.
Um, oh my, like just like I actually been reflecting on that because it's been a year, and I've been like, whoa, I feel so different now than I did last year in my first trimester. Um, but a lot of nausea, a lot of fatigue, a
Hmm.
lot of purging. I am a combo practitioner, and so like, those of you that sit with medicine that are watching or not, it's like there's everyone knows the buckets that people have ceremony. And literally, I had a bucket in my car. I had a bucket in my like I had buckets like everywhere
Wow.
because it was just I swear it was just like a purge fest. But you
Purging,
know what?
cleaning.
I do think part of it was physical because I know that my liver is taxed more than I just have I don't have a gallbladder, so my liver gets really taxed, and
Mm.
that already gets taxed during pregnancy. So I felt like that was a big reason why physically, but mentally and spiritually, it was like I could feel every time I had like an old pattern come up or like a
Mhm.
negative thought or a critical thought or just like fears, all of these like, lower vibrational, darker energies, if they would arise in my body, it would be instantly in the bucket.
Wow.
So it was like my body was preparing,
Hmm.
cleaning for this little baby to come through. Also, as I'm sure like these spirits, these babies have such high frequency
Hmm.
of divine energy. And you got to try to match their, it's like our mission is our work is to match their vibration.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard when we have like I feel like we are the ones that are healing for our lineage and it's like we're the ones that are doing the work and it's a lot for like to do it for our mothers and our grandmothers and I know this is why we're in it to birth like the descendants of our lineages that are full of so much light and their magic and their power and yeah your little baby was with you and just supporting and recalibrating that energy so you can be in like the highest octave of mother and like the highest embodiment and it's yeah it's rough purging is
Yeah.
rough but it's also super beautiful because yeah I feel it's clearing preparing and just to be in that surrender and that flow of like okay I'm in this state like I know that it's worth it this is the mission that I'm on and accepting like there's just so
Yeah.
much we can do to prepare it really would take lifetimes I feel to birth and just not have anything maybe some people like my mom wasn't pregnant when she, or wasn't nauseous when she was pregnant with me and I'm like how like I feel like you had so much healing work to do but
Yeah.
no idea it's just whatever we're meant to be served we get served and it's all medicine.
Exactly. And I feel like yeah, the purges served me well because
Mhm.
I'm someone that would have like resistance to purging and ceremony a bit. Like
Yeah.
I would, but it was took a like it just I don't I had a lot of fear around it in the beginning, and now I have no fear around purging. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
And so it sounds like you're this purging prepared for your free birth, and I would love to know what that was like. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So also like throughout that whole process of like as we reflect on purging, I let go of a lot of fears around birth, but specifically if I didn't have the birth that I wanted, if I didn't have the free birth that I
That's
wanted,
yeah, that's a
I
tough
really had to like,
one.
he's like, you're talking about my birth story.
Oh,
He's like, er, hi, honey.
hi, BB. He's like, okay, this is when I come in. I knew he's gonna want to speak at some point.
His Leo, he has a Leo rising, just like so evident. It's so cute. He's always like, rah,
Oh.
rah. Yeah. So yeah, I had to release a lot of fears around like, this could happen, this could happen. Like, even if I had to go to the hospital, like that
Yeah.
all was, I didn't just be like, I'm gonna free birth, like blah 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 blah, like without doing any, really deep research and holding counsel and really preparing myself and understanding birth on a physiological level, which I feel like definitely helped. And, you
Mhm.
know, going into the free birth, just being like, birth is a ceremony. Birth is
Mhm.
a ceremony. That's what it is. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to like kind of gauge where to start in terms of, yeah, the free birth itself. Like,
Yeah. Or
uh,
whatever flows through. You don't have like you can share whatever you feel to share. If it's like a piece of wisdom that's flowing or you want to go
yeah,
story. Yeah.
yeah. So I did a lot of hypnobirthing
Mhm.
to prepare. And a dear sister of mine gifted me a couple of sessions, and she
Beautiful.
used a lot of imagery of plants and, water and all the things that I love and can connect to and relate to. But I also had written my own script because I'm certified in hypnosis. And so I wrote my own script all about opening up like a rose.
Mm.
Like that was the theme of this hypnosis was rose and also orgasmic birth, but like I didn't have an orgasmic birth. I'm just gonna say that now. I did not. In the way that you might think. But so yeah, I really just called on the rose spirit so deeply during the preparation. And I couldn't tell you if, I mean, I'm sure that the rose was connected to the was I'm sure I know she was in my field during the birth, although I was just so deep in it in the process that I don't even know what was happening. Um, but yeah, I just remember my water broke
Mhm.
and it all happened quick. It happened fast. And I just had like again, just coming back to that full trust. Like I
Mhm.
just fully trusted my body and trusted my baby and I trusted God.
Mm.
Um, yeah. And
Mm.
and
Yeah, trust. I feel that's like, if anything, I'm gonna take from this conversation is like you literally were exercising this muscle of trust and surrender and trust in like every moment.
yeah, and it's not even that I'm, anti-medical establishment.
Mhm.
It's just like we've been as women, like have been these spells have been placed upon us to
Mm-hmm.
not trust the wisdom of our body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I think every woman should free birth? No. Do I think every woman can free birth? Yes, of course, because that's the way God innately designed us.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like, how are you gonna like you gotta birth the baby you made. Like
Literally.
it's
Yeah.
gotta come out somehow. And it's like what did women do,
Hmm.
when we were all living together in our tribes, in our communities, in our village. And
Yeah.
there was, of course, like ancestral midwives and everything. And that's a whole other conversation of like how the midwife, where like the where midwifery is now, because it has gotten very medical establishment,
Yeah.
a lot of it. Some of it no, but yeah. And literally my mantra during my birth during the birth portal was, thank you God, thank you God, thank you God, thank you, thank you God, thank you God, thank you God, thank you. Like just the ultimate trust.
Mm.
And because I knew that this little spirit was guiding me through the beginning to free birth, I was like, it's just, I'm going to have like it can't happen any other way.
Yeah, I love what you said about how spells have been cast upon us and we're undoing those spells and creating new encantos, like new
Mm,
spells, like in the healthy way.
yeah.
Yeah, in the medicine woman way, in the embodied way. Yeah, my Thai grandmother, she's coming through because she birthed 8 babies, free birth, but she just had no other option or support in Thailand. And it just like she got pregnant, didn't even have, proper nutrition. Like she was living in poverty and living and like sewing while she was having babies. So it's just like it's so possible, but yeah, we're trying to do it in the most nourished way because women deserve to be nourished and supported and held, and the babies deserve this. Yeah, everything is perfect, but this is like the intention of bringing this wisdom, having this conversation, learning from a real embodied mama who free births, wild pregnancy, conscious conception, the plants. It's like we are real people and like weaving with spirit, living life in trust, and choosing this way, which I call the ancestral way, the natural way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way, it's the path. It's
Yeah.
how always been done. And at some point, things changed. And, we're trying to remember, really
Yeah.
just remember what's already within us. And
Yeah. Yeah. And like, something that's coming through right now is the choice to free birth has been so healing for my family, actually. Uh,
wow.
what?
I'm just saying, wow.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I was very vague with my parents about my birth plan.
Yeah.
And I know like, that's there's a lot of yeah, like women like there's like, fear around like judgment
We're
or
to
what
protect.
our yeah, like what society thinks, or especially our parents, like our family. And so I was, yeah, again, I was so vague with my parents about my birth plans. And my mom, I'm grateful because my mom is kind of like, she's very like, I don't know, like, don't ask, don't tell, like, or
Mhm.
like ignorance is bliss is her thing.
Mhm.
She's like, I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know. Whatever you do, like, just do it. Just don't tell me. So she didn't really ask any questions. My dad didn't really know. There was a couple conversations that came up even before I was pregnant about ultrasounds and whatnot. But yeah, they didn't really ask. And so I kind of just went throughout my pregnancy, like, kind of pretending I had a midwife, kind of
Yeah.
pretending I had this, which, Anthony and I, who were saying, like, whenever someone would ask us, like, do you have a midwife? Do you have, we're like, well, we have a
I am
community
the
of,
midwife.
yeah, or like we have a community of women that know birth
Yeah.
because we do.
Yeah.
And when Anthony and I went to LA to visit my family, like I think right before I gave birth, my dad had pulled him outside and was like, my dad had pulled him outside and was like, so, you know, what's your contingency plan? Like, what's your backup plan? Like, what's actually going on? Like, do you have support at the birth? And Anthony was like, I can't lie. Like, he couldn't lie to my dad. And he's like, we have a community of men. He was basically like, we have strong women and we have a
Mm.
community, we have this. He was very vague with it, but told him, the truth in a way. And my dad, was just asking. He was considering, I'm his daughter, so only daughter, only child. So he was just like asking, well, what
Yeah.
if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? Like, what's the backup plans and whatnot? And so, Anthony had to tell him, and then Anthony was like, but you cannot tell. He's like, I'm not going to tell my wife we had this conversation, and you're not going to tell your wife that we had this conversation.
Yeah.
So, the masculine's role is to be the protector
Yes.
and the safeguard of the sacred birth space, which he
Mm,
did so beautifully.
love it.
And so I found out about that conversation literally the night I gave birth.
Oh,
So my dad knew I was free birthing.
yeah.
And just like my parents are just, they're so like, of course they're happy that, he's happy, he's healthy and everything. But, I can tell my dad is like, whoa, like, I can't believe my daughter did that. But like, she's like, it's been really healing for me and my dad. And just
Mm.
my mom was asking me questions about like, my placenta, like what it looked like, what it felt like, what am I gonna do with it? My mom was asking me questions about my birthing, like the sensations that went on during birth because she didn't have that, and
Mhm.
she was opening up to me about what her doctor said to her as to why she had that C-section and why she decided to go that route. So this little boy's just been, yeah, so incredibly healing on so many levels for myself and my family and my lineage. So yeah.
Your birth healed like your mother's birth, and she may not even have been aware that that she had this feeling.
Yeah. And my mom had the day I gave birth or that night, like the night my water was breaking, that same night, my mom woke up, which she said she quote unquote felt birthing sensations. Like she's like, I was feeling contractions and like I couldn't sleep and I had anxiety.
Oh,
And she didn't even text, she didn't
oh,
even text Anthony or anyone or me. She was like, if she's in the birthing portal, like I don't want to know because she would be, she just would have a little bit of fear. And I think
yeah.
unconsciously like didn't want to bring that into my field. Um, and so yeah, like how wild.
Yeah, that's making me want to tear up. It's literally everything is in the womb and everything is felt, and like we can through birth we can it's a portal and we can like transcend time and dimensions, and it's I fully trust that like it was almost like you coming back and rebirthing yourself through your mother, through you birthing, and yeah, everything interweaving and intersecting.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to do a lot of work too around my own birth.
Mhm.
I had to do a lot of work during my first trimester around two abortions that I had in the past. Like it all was just coming through to be healed. Like he was bringing it all to me.
Mm. Aho, yes. Wow, I'm so grateful for this conversation and the way it's been flowing. And you have so much knowledge and so much wisdom and medicine to share. I'd love to know, well, yeah, if there's any last things, and then also, yeah, how women that are watching this conversation through this project can connect with you and work with you and what you're offering. And I will definitely be linking Instagrams and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. What was the first question you asked?
Oh, the first
I
question.
know, or I
Yeah,
just said,
how can women like work
oh
with
yeah,
you? What are you offering? Hmm.
cool. Okay. Mom brain.
Yeah.
Now that I'm back on. Um, yeah, so you can connect with me via Instagram. My Instagram is guided by Des. There I share a lot about my own personal journey from maiden to mother, and birth and pregnancy and wild pregnancy and free birth, nutrition, herbs, all that good stuff. And yeah, I am offering mentorship for fertility, womb work, basically everything from fertility to postpartum. And really, 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 yeah, I've really been in this deep, just receiving really deep codes that I need to be really helping women usher the maiden to mother journey. Because that is my medicine, I feel like, is maiden to mother journey, free
Mm-hmm.
birthing, wild pregnancy, and really just like helping women to trust their bodies,
Yeah.
and return to that, to the wise woman that we all are, and
Mm.
that our body's wisdom.
Thank you, sister. Any last words? Are you feeling complete?
Mm, I feel pretty complete.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you for this conversation. Mm. Blessings. So many blessings.
Yes.